Hi, everyone. I'm Adri Faasen. I'm from a company called DRS, and we are in South Africa, but we are a global company, so we do have representation all over Africa and international as well. DRS is the leader in cybersecurity, and we cover every facet for enterprise, medium, large, and small businesses. Today, everybody is going to talk about some really exciting technology, and I'm very excited about that. But I wanted to bring it back to the human risk element. We don't always remember how vulnerable our users are in our organizations. So I'd like to refocus and get our attention back to how we can actually secure our users. Okay, so just want to quickly. There we go. So if we look at the definition of social engineering, it is the psychological manipulation of people to get them to perform acts to divulge your personal and confidential information. And as we heard, POPI and GDPR is all over the place. And the POPI Act has started forcing people in South Africa, especially, to divulge and make it public knowledge when they have had a breach. So what happens when you have a breach? A lot of your personal information ends up on the dark web and the deep web, and we don't always know what happens to it. But no fear, don't fear about it. We're going today I'm going to just recheck and make sure that we all know how to be safe in this very digital world that we've moved into. So the COVID-19 pandemic has forced us to work from home, work remotely. A lot of people have also become more accustomed to having online meetings instead of having face-to-face meetings. But humans, being social creatures as we are, we'd still like to share our personal information or our experiences. And the way we do this is by sharing photos, ideas, opinions online. And there are two factors to that. We need to always remember to make sure that information that we are sharing is factual and truthful. Don't just share it because you think it's the right thing or the right information. Go onto Google, make sure that it's actually factual. And if you're not sure, rather not share it. Then second of all, we need to start being more aware of what we post online. We've seen, and I've seen it with a lot of my friends as well, is that they'll go and show their vaccination card on social media. The problem with that is your ID number is on there, your full names are on there, when you went for your dose is on there, the date and the different type of vaccinations that you've had, if you feel like getting vaccinated, of course. And that information is very valuable to a hacker. If we look at the way people being social engineered, now they have your full ID number plus your full names. But they could also now send you a WhatsApp or an SMS saying, "Dear Miss Faasen, your next vaccination of whatever strain you took or vaccination you took is available at X, Y, and Z." That's a way of getting you to a certain place where they would like to have you. So we need to just make sure that we don't share our personal information. Also, I know that moms get very excited on the first day of school. Don't take a photo of your child in their school uniform, because now the bad actor knows exactly in which school your child is. So they could possibly go pick up your child and say, "Hey, I'm a friend of Adri, your mom, please come with me." And then therefore they can actually blackmail you. And it's not necessarily always about you. It could be about your CEO. It could be about the financial person that they would like to get to. So we need to be aware and make sure that we think about the bigger picture. I always say to my sales team that cybersecurity is not just a job. We don't leave it when we walk out at 5 o'clock. We have to live it as a lifestyle. And we need to change that culture within our companies as well. And especially in the financial sector, you have valuable information about every single customer, as well as your own company CI and your own company intelligence. Nobody would like that to be leaked or be sent out or to land up in the wrong hands. Okay, I'm also going to take you through just the different types of hackers that we see and what we need to look out for. So, being cybersecurity awareness, I'm going to show us a little fun video about the different statistics that we've seen over the past year. Enjoy. So it's actually very, very shocking, but there are more people own more cell phones than toothbrushes. If we think about who is hacking us, we always think about the guy in the back of the basement trying to steal your information, writing his own programs. But I'd like to tell you, it is definitely not the case anymore. We've got a numerous amount of hackers or bad actors, whichever you would like to call them, and they range all the way from people that drive you or that do it for greed, or they might be a very desperate person trying to steal some information to make ends meet. We also have the professional hackers. People sit in an office 8 to 5 like you and I do, and they actually do hacking as a living. We've got nation states. So I don't know if everybody can remember the Stuxnet virus that went through all of our computers and finally ended up where it should have been to infect the centrifuges. We've got hacktivists, which take their activism to a new level of criminality. So defacing a website or actually taking a website down that they don't agree with. Then of course, we've got the little script kiddies that are using bought products on the dark web, where they can actually, they'll target 100 people with an email and see which one bites. And then last but not least, your disgruntled employee or the person that actually comes and gets a legitimate job at your company to infiltrate and work their way laterally or north or south. So what are the different reasons why people click on links? It could be because it's a trusted person, like a family or a client, somebody posing as one of those people that you trust. Could be because of a monetary gain, you've won the lotto, please just enter your banking details here. Could also create that sense of urgency. And again, in this day of working remotely or hybridly, we get so many emails, we get so many requests. So when it becomes very urgent, do this right away, then we will act on it a lot quicker. I've put a little machine learning and artificial intelligence article that I read yesterday. About 4 or 5 days ago, a bank manager was actually tricked, handing over a lot of money in the UAE due to a voice call that was made by his supposed CEO. But due to Google's voice recognition and voice learning in their artificial intelligence, we can now recreate people's voices online. Again, all of our information is all over the dark web. People, companies are being hacked left, right, and center, compromised left, right, and center. And this is why we shouldn't be scared. And we need to create a culture where people are going to report anything suspicious. And we need to stick together and make sure that whatever we are posting online is worth it. Just a quick little statistic here for you. The number one root cause out of 3,000 global companies and especially financial companies surveyed is still social engineering. And social engineering can range from numerous different platforms, as I'll explain in a second. So how did COVID-19 change the financial institution, especially? Because today we are here to talk about our very special financial institutions. Globally, 40% of all cyber breaches were only in the financial sector. 48% of the breaches were malicious malicious outsiders, and 26% was malicious insiders. So there might be people in your company. So like I said earlier, it could be a disgruntled employee, or it could be somebody there purely for the fact to steal some of your corporate identification. 94%, which is a very high statistic, of our malware is spread through emails. So we keep on building our network infrastructure and our cybersecurity layers so effectively that the only way the hackers are really, really targeting companies is through the human being, and humans being the risk. So I've put two financial institution reviews there. At DRS, we actually use, in our SOC, we use an automated system that we will see and go through a machine learning AI playbook where we will see if the phishing alert is a real phish, and then we'll hand it over to one of our engineers. Else, we'll send the employees, an email going, thank you for reporting the email. It's not a malicious email. We are creating the culture of see something, say something. If you see a USB drive lying around, don't put it into your computer. Yes, we know that, but some people still do it. One of our big parastatals the other day was infiltrated or had a massive breach due to the fact that a person had some malware on their laptop and plugged it into the local area network. These things happen, and we need to educate our people to eliminate that risk factor of them. So just a quick refresher. I know you're very clever and you all know this. Phishing needs you to click on an email and click on a link and enter your credentials. Like I said earlier, vishing, that's your voice phishing. Smishing, that's text messages, and we get a lot of text messages, spam messages with links in it. So please if you're not expecting an email from a certain person, if you're not expecting an SMS, don't click on the link. Then we've got social media. This is where hackers will go and they will follow your social media page for quite some time, put all of the information together, and then create another you. And then, of course, business email compromise. So my final point today is I would like us to develop a culture in all of our companies where we reward our employees in reporting. If you see something, say something. If the email looks too good to be true, I promise you it generally is. And let's create an environment where we can have people feel secure and look after our companies. And with that, I'm going to go over to Q&A.
Thank you so much, Adri. It's a challenge for a lot of employees, or even us as users. We sometimes get so tracked in clicking those links, and you ask yourself, how did I come? I mean, how did I get hacked? And it's just one click that would really get you onto the other side, where your life would really change forever and your information is compromised. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you, Adria, and we really appreciate the fact that DRS has really granted us the opportunity of sharing and getting insights from your side. And yeah, thank you so much.
Perfect. Only a pleasure. Thank you for the time.
Great stuff. Thank you.